What kind of home can you buy in Monument, Colorado for $800,000? We'll find out today. I just have a gorgeous home. This thing's beautiful. I toured it the other day. It was a little bit snowy, so you couldn't see the mountain views, but it does have amazing mountain views from the back. It's located in Monument, Colorado. I'll tell you all about Monument, Colorado and what makes it appealing. I'll share some pros and cons of living there. Tell you all about the house. I'll tell you about the builder, and I'll leave a link in the comment section for you to ask any questions you might have. So let's get into it. Campbell built this home in a neighborhood called the Beach at Woodmoor, which references Lake Woodmoor, and that's one of the three lakes in the Tri-Lakes area, which is another name for Monument, the Tri-Lakes area. That references Lake Woodmoor, Monument Lake, and Palmer Lake. And those are some of the reasons people love to be up there, is it feels a little bit like you're in Colorado. You have water, and Colorado Springs is very dry. We have 300 days of sunshine a year. And most of the summer we get a little monsoon moisture, but we don't get a lot. Monument gets a lot, and it's just because of the altitude. You have Monument Hill, and it drives weather patterns that are a little bit different than the rest of Colorado Springs. So one of the most appealing things about Monument is that it's grown so much, but it's retained that small town vibe. So you're close to Colorado Springs and Denver and everything they have to offer. But when you come home, you're home, and you live in a town that has a big 4th of July parade and does Shakespeare in the Park, and people actually show up for it. You have a lot of trails, you have a lot of hiking, you have a lot of biking, and and people love that and value it and care about it, and that comes through in the people that you meet up there. In addition to that, you don't get a lot of, maybe you like corporate restaurants or chain restaurants, and if that's your thing, then you have Denver and Colorado Springs. But most everything in Monument is locally owned and operated, and there's small businesses. There's a amazing coffee shop and a fantastic brewery, just like a 2-minute walk from this house. So you'll want to get out and explore and find some of the hidden treasures that are in Monument, and you'll fall in love with it, I promise. There are many negatives to living in Monument. It truly is a beautiful place, incredibly convenient, but there are a couple of things you'll want to be aware of if you're thinking about making a move to Colorado Springs, and Monument's one of the places that's on your short list. The first one being fire. We live in an area that's impacted by fire. Wildfires are something that we pay very close attention to. And after the fires in Black Forest and Waldo Canyon in 2012-13, people pay attention to the weather and what's happening. So if that's something you're concerned about, then you want to do a little bit of research on fire, or just schedule an appointment with me in the comment section and we can talk about that. They've done some things to minimize fire risk in Monument, and people have worked very hard to make sure their community is safe from fire. Another negative of Monument is that it's colder there than it is in Colorado Springs. And maybe that's a plus to you. Maybe you like cold weather. And if that's the case, Monument should definitely be on your short list. It is colder than Colorado Springs, and it gets a lot more snow than Colorado Springs. It sits on a hill, Monument Hill, or also called the Palmer Divide, and it creates a weather effect that just bombards Monument with snow. If Colorado Springs gets 4 to 6 inches, Monument's probably going to get 1 to 2 feet, and 2 feet might be on the extreme, but it's not unheard of for Monument to get feet of snow instead of inches. So if that's a concern of yours, then you just factor that into your equation. In addition to that, if you're a gardener, you'll have a shorter growing season. So those are just some things to consider. Really, there aren't a whole lot of negatives to living in Monument, but those would be a couple of them. Before we start this tour, I want to give a big shout out to Campbell Homes for letting us come out and shoot this place. It's an absolutely stunning home, and they do build it in a few different communities. So if Monument's not for you, or if you want to find out if they build it in another neighborhood, give me a call, or you click the link in the comment section. You can schedule an appointment with me, and we can see if we can build this somewhere else. But it's an absolutely stunning home. Now, this floor plan is called the Hemingway. It's 3,401 square feet. It's got a finished basement. It has a 3-car tandem garage. Has a covered deck. And this, like I said, this one had mountain views. You just can't see them in the video because it's snowy, because it's a Monument. And that's part of why some people like living there and some people don't.